It's going to be a great opportunity for our boys. Obviously they played the Tottenham game and the Liverpool game earlier in the season, two fantastic academies who have produced a number of great players, and Chelsea similar, one of the shining lights of academy football at the moment. Perhaps not in producing players through their first team at the current moment, but Loftus-Cheek is one who's through and doing very well at the minute. They've won the FA Youth Cup 3 years running, recently won the Under-19 Champions League, so we know that they're a really strong academy and we have a good relationship with them, and really grateful for Chelsea for bringing the team down. I think it'll be a great game for us. There'll be a strong side, we know that. We know it'll be a difficult game for us, but yeah, it's a game that I think play against the best teams in the country is always good for your players. To play inside the stadium again is another added bonus, and when you play in front of a good crowd, that adds value to the game as well. So the last two experiences were excellent, and I'm sure anyone that watched the games would admit they were really good games to watch as well. So we're hoping for the same kind of thing this week.
As you mentioned there, very much a very exciting occasion to take place here, but the game obviously marks the 10-year anniversary of the reopening of the youth scheme at the club. And at the heart of it have been this group of under-16 players that are going to be playing on Thursday nights. Just tell us a little bit more about that.
That's right, yeah. A number of these boys have been with the club since they were 7 or 8 years old, since the scheme sort of restarted in 2006. Jez at the time obviously made the system be reborn, and it's gone on masses since then. It's really developed in that time. Tom Powell obviously looks after this group and has done for pretty much the whole of that period. He's done a great job developing them. He's actually away on tour with our under-13s, 14s this week, so I'll be taking the game myself. But yeah, these players have been with us a long time, and a number of them will be in the youth team next year. So for them to go through that whole period of time, and for us to have a night to give them an experience, but to also celebrate those 10 years and how far we've come in not only that amount of time, but in the last 18 months really, since becoming a Football League club and passing the EPP process as an academy. It's a really good opportunity for people to come along and see some great players for us and some brilliant players for the opposition, but to look at something that we've got here that we're really proud of, and we hope continues to produce people for the first team moving forwards.
You touched upon the Tottenham and Liverpool game just before. Obviously great gates at those games, just short of 1,000 for those two games. You're looking to break the 1,000 barrier this time around. How much more important can they make the fans make the experience to the players by coming and turning up in their numbers?
It's massive. This group of players went to Germany in January and played in an indoor tournament in a small town called Magdeburg. There was 4,000 people in the indoor arena, and the Magdeburg fans were out in hundreds and singing and chanting, and the atmosphere was an incredible experience for our players. So, people coming here and seeing it is one thing, but supporting the players is great. And sometimes you take for granted that playing in a stadium and in front of a crowd, how much that can add value to players. And we want to give them the first team experience as often as possible. So if they can get used to that at a young age, when the moment comes, if they're lucky enough and work hard enough to get it, they'll be a lot better suited and prepared for it. So we urge people to come and watch it and support it, and hope that people do turn up in their numbers.